Everybody, and welcome back to the channel. For today's video we actually have quite a cool one planned, that being just basically breaking down, talking through almost all of the leaked listings that we've so far gotten as far as new and upcoming 2023 Transformers product goes. Now these include listings for both Transformers Legacy Evolution and Studio Series, so be sure to check out the chapter times down in the description box below if there is a specific part that you guys are more interested in. Personally, I'm so excited for Studio Series, especially with Rise of the Beasts just around the corner. It's going to be so awesome. Now before we delve into the video, it is worth mentioning that at the time of this video nothing is 100% concrete confirmed by Hasbro themselves, but if history is anything to go by, 9 times out of 10 these listings are always proven to be near enough 100% correct, so I'm willing to bet that this time next year we'll have basically all of these characters either on shelves or in your own collection. So let's kickstart things off with the legacy portion of the video, and the first couple of figures are basically just a few package refreshes. So deluxe class Tarantulas, basically just going to be the same figure from year 1 of Legacy. There's also going to be a deluxe Wild Rider, not too sure whether or not that's going to be kind of a G2 redeco like we saw for Dragstrip in the Velocitron subline, or if it is just going to be a straight up re-release. There's also going to be a core Thundercracker, which is a repaint of the Starscream that we saw in Kingdom, and then of course Skywarp that we saw for Legacy, hoping that he actually has his proper null rays. And here we have a few brand new characters. So to kickstart things off, there's going to be Shadow Striker and Strongarm. Now considering both of these characters appeared at the same time in Transformers Cyberverse, I'm willing to bet that this could potentially be Hasbro dipping their toes into Cyberverse. Now I could be mistaken, I mean Shadow Striker was also a Transformers Universe character, so it could be based on that, but I'm willing to bet Cyberverse, and I think it could be a really cool concept. Both of them had awesome designs. Sadly we didn't really get proper deluxe figures of them in the Transformers Cyberverse toy line, so could be quite exciting. Definitely looking forward to seeing as to what those particular characters are. We're also going to be seeing new Junkions. I think there are 2 more left to go as far as Legacy Evolution goes so far, and we already knew these were coming. We saw a few of their character designs on the official Legacy poster, and it was also teased that Scraphook, who I recently reviewed over on the channel, will be compatible with some of these other Junkions, so that's quite cool. I thought he was such a fantastic figure. It's one of the best ideas I think the design team have put out for quite some time, so really excited to having more deluxe Junkions in the collection. There's also going to be a deluxe Bombshell, so this confirms that more Insecticons are on the horizon. So excited for that. Kickback was awesome, and it's just been so long. I mean, come on, we need proper updated Insecticons, and what a cool one to have next in the form of Bombshell. I guess we'll get Shrapnel in the next year or whatever, and then we're going to be seeing a deluxe Beachcomber. Now this is a mini bot that we haven't had a figure of since I think Power of the Primes, and that was kind of a small version. I don't think it was quite a deluxe, so looking forward to actually getting a proper Generations deluxe scaled version of that character. I'm hoping that unlike the Bumblebee G.I. Joe crossover that I recently took a look at, that the roll cage isn't an absolute nightmare. I am hoping that they can kind of find a way to get rid of that without it actually obstructing anything in terms of robot mode, etc. But yeah, more mini bots, can't really complain there. There's also going to be a deluxe Detrius. Now when this was first rumored, I was thinking maybe they were going to use the Siege Hound mold and just repaint it in some nice camo colors, but since then we did actually get kind of a leak or a reveal, I guess you could say, on an upcoming Studio Series Earth mode Hound, and I'm almost willing to bet that it's going to be that figure with a more camo inspired Detrius color deco, which could be quite cool. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that's going to turn out. There's also going to be a deluxe DevCon, and I'm sorry live action movie fans, but it's not the one we've been clamoring for since 2018. It is the G1 version. Now this is quite a cool character design, one that I never thought they were going to take on as far as the Generations figure goes, so could be quite cool. I guess we'll have to wait and see again. There's also going to be a Voyager Dirge. Now the reason why I didn't mention this in the opening part of the video where I was kind of talking through the repaints and reissues, etc., is because despite it saying package refresh on here, I just think it's kind of a strange figure to put in the main line. I mean, the last time we saw Dirge, he was in a 2-pack, an Amazon exclusive 2-pack, which is undeniably one of the most scalped mainline Transformers figures of all time. So to see them splitting that 2-pack up and actually giving us individual releases of the Coneheads, I wasn't expecting that. So maybe this could be a new mold. Considering it says package refresh, I'm willing to believe that it is just basically going to be that 2-pack split into individual releases. But again, a fantastic opportunity for you guys who missed out on these Coneheads first time round, and they're decent molds, although I kind of wish they will retool them a little bit. I mean, the Eartherized Starscream mold, at least in my opinion, wasn't as good as the Siege Starscream, just as it did kind of borrow the engineering from, I want to say, the classic Starscream, which again, personally I didn't think was a great figure. But for those who missed out on Dirge, he is definitely coming. Now we're going to jump into some leader class figures, which I really think are going to be so cool. So there's going to be a leader class Prime Universe inspired Skyquake. Now we're also going to be getting his retrospective twin brother repaint, that in the form of Dreadwing. I think think this could be cool. He was rumoured to be in Wave 1, but has been pushed back to Wave 2. I'm hoping they haven't gone kind of super stylized as far as the design goes. Personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of how they kind of adapted some of those Prime designs for Legacy Year 1. I'm hoping this one stays a bit more truthful to the character design, as Dreadwing and Skyquake were beasts. They were awesome in Transformers Prime, so there's really no need to alter the designs. They already look so cool, but it is awesome to see Transformers Prime continuing in the mainline. And then a leader class figure, which I think is going to send almost everybody nuts, is going to be an Armada Megatron. Now, we've already seen a few Armada characters, Starscream and Hotshot, which I will have a review coming up over on the channel fairly shortly of, but Armada Megatron is just one of those big, beefy characters, one of those awesome characters that we really need to kind of fill out those Armada ranks, and it's cool to see him getting an update, especially considering that he's one of the more recent Armada characters that we got in the mainline. I believe he was a repaint of the G1 Combiner Wars Megatron way back in around about 2015, 2016, so it will be interesting to see a brand new mold of that character. He's one of my favourite Megatron designs, by the way, guys, so I'll definitely be really excited to pick that up. And that pretty much wraps it up as far as the core mainline of Legacy Evolution goes so far. We don't have any concrete official confirmation of the Commander nor the actual Titan class. There is a bit of speculation and some rumours out there that the Commander will be Armada Optimus, which I think it could be, especially considering that he too is slap bang and centre on that Legacy Evolution poster. And the Titan class I think is rumoured to be the Nemesis, which they've been teasing for ages. They've been teasing it since we got the arc way back in Transformers Kingdom. So are they actually finally going to give us that big bad Decepticon ship as a Titan? I guess 2023, we'll just have to wait. Now we're going to jump into my favourite portion of the video, that being Transformers Studio Series leak listings, and wow, we are in for some absolute whoppers if these listings are anything to go by. So not only do we have Transformers Rise of the Beast coming, but apparently some video game characters based on those High Moon Studio War for Cybertron video games, which is just nuts. And there's also a tiny bit of Transformers 86 sprinkled in there as well, but I don't think any kind of live action Michael Bay stuff besides a core class. So that's a shame, but we're getting a live action movie. I guess I can't complain. So let's get into this. So for core class, we're expecting to see a TF3 core Bumblebee, and I think this is the only Bayverse character on the list so far, but we also got that buzzworthy Bumblebee hatchet, so maybe they're going to be throwing a few Bayverse characters in buzzworthy Bumblebee. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but this is basically just going to be a repaint of Laserbeak that I've recently took a look at over on the channel. Quite a cool idea. I mean, to see some of those main characters shrunken down to core, I think it's going to be interesting, especially if they approach the likes of Optimus Prime, Ironhide, Ratchet, and Jazz, etc. Now we get into some characters which at the time of this recording merely just have a few code names, so there is going to be a Delta 2 and a Hydra. These are core class figures. If I were to place any bets, I think one of them could potentially be a Rise of the Beasts Rat Trap. I mean, it just makes sense, at least in my opinion, but I'm not too sure as to what the other one could be. And then we're basically left with a few more repaints, that in the form of an 86 Frenzy, which is going to be a red repaint of Rumble, which we recently got, and I took a look at over on the channel a few days ago. Awesome figure, really cool core class, a little too small, but it's decent. And then there's also going to be a core class Ironhide, which we know is going to be a repaint of the core Ratchet that we also got released a few months back, and at the moment they are our only core classes rumoured to be for Studio Series. Now we're going to jump into the deluxes, which again, bang, they're going to blow your mind. So Rise of the Beast, Wheeljack. Awesome to see so many Rise of the Beast characters straight up just as the movie comes out. With Bumblebee, we had to wait, I think it was like 3 years before we got the main Cybertronian cast. I mean, we really only completed that main cast in January of this year, and the movie came out in 2018, so crazy how long we had to wait for some of those Bumblebee characters, but they're fixing that mistake here with Rise of the Beast. So Rise of the Beast Wheeljack, looking forward to actually seeing his bot mode design. We know from some of the rumours on set that he's going to be that kind of beaten up, rusty Volkswagen. That looks quite cool. There's also going to be a Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee. I think this is the version with the roll cage, so kind of the off-road version. Awesome looking vehicle. It's going to look smashing on screen. I love the Camaro. Throws me back to the old Michael Bay days. We're also going to be seeing a Rise of the Beasts Air Razor. Cool to see some Maximals so early on. There's also going to be a Rise of the Beasts Nightbird. Now, I thought she could potentially be a Voyager, especially considering she is rumoured to be one of the big bads of the movie, but no, she's going to be a deluxe. I hope they can execute the design quite well. I mean, I was lucky enough to be invited by Paramount Pictures to their production kickoff event, and I did see the very early concept art of her bot mode design, and if you're a fan of Michael Bay designs, you're going to love her. She looked killer. Definitely very reminiscent to her G1 design, but was just souped up to the max. She had this bayonet on the arm. I hope they can do her justice in the deluxe price point. That's That's all I'm going to say. But awesome vehicle mode. She really does look pretty sick on set. There's also going to be a Rise of the Beast Mirage, which if the set photos and the filming is anything to go by, Mirage is going to be one of the biggest characters in that movie. I mean, he was featured literally on set all the time. So we know that he's going to be in it quite a lot, and they're going to give us a deluxe straight up. So that's awesome. There's also going to be some War for Cybertron deluxe figures. Now, these ones I'm hoping are based on the High Moon Studio games. I mean, there are some rumors they could potentially be redos of the War for Cybertron Netflix show, but we very recently just finished that. I don't think Hasbro would dip their toes in that line so soon after it finished, so I'm willing to bet these are War for Cybertron video game characters. I'll very quickly go through these. A deluxe Bumblebee, so awesome. Deluxe Barricade, which I don't think ever saw a deluxe release or a Voyager in the original kind of War for Cybertron / Fall of Cybertron days, so that's cool to finally get that character design in action figure form. And then, as to be expected, there'll also be a deluxe Cliff Jumper, which I'm willing to bet will be a retool / repaint of Bumblebee. We're also going to be seeing for Voyager class an 86 Ratchet, which, considering we're getting a repaint of the core, we're going to be seeing a repaint of the Voyager Ironhide that we recently just took a look at over on the channel, so that's cool. I thought it was a fantastic mold. There's also going to be loads of Rise of the Beast Voyagers. So a Voyager Cheetor, this is quite cool, as Cheetor I would have thought would have been a deluxe, so I am led to believe he's going to be quite souped up in the movie, definitely going to be a little more chunky when in comparison to his Beast Wars and Netflix rendition. There's also going to be a Voyager class Rhinox, which is cool. I mean, he definitely would suit that scale point perfectly. And then one at the time of this recording, which still has a code name, that in the form of Apollo, which is rumoured to be Battle Trap, that kind of pickup truck that we've also seen rolling around on set alongside Nightbird and Scourge. So cool that we're going to be seeing so many villains as well. And then we're jumping back into those War for Cybertron games. So Voyager, War for Cybertron, Megatron, so awesome to see this character back on the shelves. Those original deluxe figures were god tier, so I can only imagine what they can do with a higher price point, modern technology, better articulation, etc. Looking forward to that. And talking of kind of god tier, Optimus Prime, also based on the War for Cybertron games. Bang! Like I said, so many awesome drops rumoured for 2023, and now we round things off with our leader class. So, continuing with the Dinobots from the 86 line, we're going to be seeing an 86 leader class Snarl, which is cool, and whilst I remember, there's also going to be a deluxe Brawn inspired by that 86 movie, so that's also something worth mentioning. Really cool character, I loved his Bumblebee version, so I'm looking forward to kind of completing that entire death cast from the 86 movie where Megatron and the Decepticons essentially slaughter them on the shuttle. We're also going to be getting a Rise of the Beasts leader class Optimus Primal. So excited to actually see that design in a leader, and a live action movie Optimus Primal. I think that's just going to be bonkers, especially if the concept art we got a few years ago is anything to go by. And then one which I'm probably the most excited for, Rise of the Beasts leader class Scourge. Now, we've seen his vehicle mode on set, definitely gives me Mad Max vibes, Dark of the Moon Megatron vibes. He looks sick, and again, much like Nightbird, I have actually seen the concept art of his bot mode, and he looks insane. Could potentially be one of the best looking live action movie villains that we've ever gotten, so really awesome lineup. The only character that I can see here which is massively missing would be a Rise of the Beast Voyager class Optimus Prime. I mean, it's quite unusual for them to give us kind of a main line of movie figures and not give us Optimus, but I guess the Bumblebee movie version is close enough. It just doesn't have that kind of customized front grille piece. But those are our listings for Legacy Evolution and Studio Series. I'd love to know down in the comment section below what you guys are most excited about. Again, as I mentioned previously, everything I've discussed in today's video is mere speculation. We're basically just basing it on some of these leaked listings, so nothing is 100% confirmed, but I'm willing to bet all of these figures are potentially going to be on shelves or in our collections as early as this time next year. So very exciting things ahead. As always, I thank you guys all so much for watching, and until my next video, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.